Hi Leos, and welcome to your December 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming up for your month in December. I'm really happy to be here and talking about Leo because what an interesting change in energy you are going to be having. As you all probably know, we are moving up to this new wave conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. And that's happening right at the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, and it would be summer solstice in the southern, right at December 20th and 21st. That's going to be moving into your opposite sign of Aquarius. You know, we've been having this Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, which has been this uncomfortable quincunx, really pressurized and really status oriented and really egoically uncomfortable for Leo energy. And that is about to change up. So congratulations, Leo. You are turning the bend with it. We are coming into a much better place. As a Leo rising myself, I'm like, come on, just get through this last little bit without messing something up. You know, that's kind of what it feels like. It's like, can I just get through, you know, as a Leo, this last bit of time without, you know, destroying the things that are around me? Very destructive energy is here in December. I have to be very clear with you. Don't let that freak you out. For everybody, this is kind of the case because the power of the last few degrees of Capricorn with these strong planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, occupying it, is a very creative or destructive energy, very Shiva-esque, okay? So we have to be, I think, very regimented in the decision making, and we have to be careful. So, like, second opinions on things, especially anything relating to legalities or business or future profitability of things. So especially for you entrepreneurs out there, I don't know, people who are wanting to like go big, as a lot of Leos feel to me to be ready. That has been one positive of the Capricorn energy for Leos. It's really shown you what your ego is meant for, okay? And ego is not always all bad. It can be a tough thing sometimes, but ego is a necessary, essential, and average part of the human condition, and it can be our best friend or our worst enemy. So the last few degrees of Capricorn have shown you what your ego is really like meant to take on and how it's meant to react. And with this knowledge also comes a form of power, and you've got to kind of like discern at this point in time how you want to use that. As you guys see, you've got Death and Ten of Swords. You've got Eight of Cups, the Star, Ace of Pentacles, two Queen energies, and Ten of Cups. It's all seeming consequential this month. It's seeming like you have really maybe come out of the last 3 years of Saturn being quincunx to you with something to show for it. But also maybe it's not really exactly right for you anymore. So especially for the Leos who have been, you know, working on the same task for the last 3 years in the same job for the last 3 years, really think in December, especially in the beginning of December, get a mind about you of what the last 3 years have been revolving around. Has it been this job? Has it been this relationship? Has it been getting your health in order? That will really show you the area that needs actually a little bit of transmutation by the third week of this month and moving into 2021. So this is going to be a really good month for Leos to walk away from paranoid mindsets, to walk away from fear of betrayal, fear of implosion, fear of loss, and to then recommit themselves to how they're meant to gain in the future and really understand the authentic desires that they have and be able to implement those into the material world. That's a mouthful, but that's really a concise game plan that would not fail for any Leo, I think. Let's keep this moving though, Leo. Let's talk about the week to week, and we'll get more specific with what's coming up for you. In the first week of December, you've got Death rooted down by Ace of Pentacles. So you are looking at money, and you're looking at time, money, and energy, and what they're coming from. And you do actually have an opportunity in the first week of December to quit a job or to change your money system or to change your time schedule as well. Don't be afraid if you do feel an instability within that, because this is important. It's important to really see where any cracks are in your mundane, more material world. Because by seeing that now, you can easily transmute it into what it needs to be by the end of this month. Also, you're going to be rewarded for the appropriate transformations that you make in the first week of December. I love Death and Ace of Pentacles together. It can feel a little bit scary because you're like, oh my gosh, am I risking my material well-being to pursue my purpose? But with the pursuit of that purpose also then comes this great tangible reward also. So some of you are getting a reward in the first week of December. Some of you are getting better results than you anticipated. Some of you are getting a gift of time in the first week of December. I think for all Leos, the entire month of December is a gift of time in a way because it reminds you that things are not fixed. Leo is a fixed fire sign, meaning that the sign of Leo relies on a fixed sense of motivation and determination in order to continue. And this month is going to teach you that sometimes that does change and that that's for the best, and that it's like a reward for you to see that certain things did not ever have as much pressure as we thought they did. So week number 2, you have Queen of Wands rooted down by the star. You are reinventing motivation. That's along those lines again, except this is more comfortable in the second week. It's like, okay, this is ending. I'm finishing with this. I'm finishing with this 3-year cycle of tough pressure and insecurity and erosion. Spiritual erosion over the last 3 years for Leo is really strong. It's concluding, and you know it, and it bolsters you. I feel you start to get more optimistic in the second week. You start to become your own cheerleader. You start to become more independent also. And I love the star coming up for you. It's coming up so much this month because we're about to get a huge injection of Aquarius energy. The star card is like the energy of Aquarius because it shows like the water bearer. And that's on your axis too. That's the other reason why this month is so big for you, is because your opposite sign is Aquarius. In astrology, there are 6 axes, and it works through the 180-degree angles. Long story short, Jupiter and Saturn are moving into your opposite angle. It does not happen frequently. So you're going to really be able to look at your purpose. You're going to see it square on, like right in front of you. It's an opposition. And that's something about that's going to remind you of who you are. The star is about identity. It's about authenticity. It's about, regardless of all of any status symbols or clothing or the way that we come off or project, it's who we really are. The star depicts nudity, so it's like there's no distraction of colors or fabrics. There's no posturing. There's no affectation in the star. So dropping an affectation could be a big thing for Leo. You might have already felt this over this entire year, but a need to poise yourself in a certain way, or a need to angle yourself or have a certain complexion always through like loads of makeup or loads of cosmetics or cosmetic surgery. I feel that you guys have the potential to heal a wound about your image in the second week. Week 3, you've got 8 of Cups rooted down by Queen of Pentacles. So walking away from unhealthy habits and moving into a more healthy lifestyle. So interesting that Jupiter and Saturn are actually showing you a little bit about health too. I do feel that it's important for all Leos to look at health and to look at well-being and to look at their diet and the material aspects of their surroundings. Is your home like clean? Is it conducive to health? The home always shows exactly where you are, psychologically, emotionally, financially. The home shows everything. It's the energy of the 4th house. So look at your home in the 3rd week of December. Is it time for a move? Does this still represent you? Is it time for a renovation? Is it time for new furniture? Something along those lines comes up. Week number 4, you have 10 of Cups rooted down by 10 of Swords. So 2 10s. It's going to take till the very end of December to feel complete with this tough, ongoing, eroding cycle. So don't expect in the 3rd week of December, even though Jupiter and Saturn are changing, for it to really hit you. I think it's going to be like mid-January or even into February before it really is apparent. But you know in the last week of December that you've finished a cycle and that you're about to start over in new ways. You know it really clearly. So for some of you, there's a divorce. 10 of Cups and 10 of Swords is like the energy of a divorce or a breakup. For others of you, it's creating a union you've never had before, having a sense of commitment you've never had before. And that's beautiful. Also, it's like marrying a project, using past betrayal or past pain to elevate you now. Watch out for that. That's kind of a weird ego game to think that way. And I feel that you've been having to rely on that to fuel you for a while, but now it kind of actually comes true and you can start thinking less about it and manifesting a little bit more fuel for the actions that you need to take now with that. So anyway, Leos, what a beautiful month in December. To conclude, don't worry too much about anything. Just keep coasting. This is what I'm recommending for everybody. Watch out for big overarching changes right now. It's still undercooked to make big changes. Let's get into the new year, in my opinion, before we go crazy. But keep coasting, keep it simple, knowing that just time is your best friend right now because only a little bit more time needs to pass before things get easier. Time is your best friend. That's like the lesson this month for Leo, the long haul. Time being something good for you. Time giving you gains and results. Okay, Leos, I'm going to do an extended over on Patreon really quickly. If you want to check out the Patreon page, I would so appreciate it. I do weekly forecasts that are only on Patreon every Saturday for all signs. And then I do early and ad-free readings with all extendeds. So be sure to check that out. I'll link it below and in the center of the screen. As always, your likes, comments, and subscribes make my day. Comment below and let me know how it resonated for you. And let's jump over to Patreon now for the extended by Leo.